Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we are gonna solve another question, that is merge two sorted arrays. Basically the question says that we have two sorted arrays and we have to merge them to create a single array that is sorted. So basically in this question there are two variations and we are gonna solve both of them. So let's look at the question. So these are the two variations. One, you will find this at GFG. Basically this says that you have to sort these arrays and align this so that the first array is sorted and second array is sorted after that. Basically this means that the answer should be something like this: 1 2 3 4 5 and all the remaining elements in sorted manner 6 7 8, meaning it should be sorted but you don't have to use any extra space. And this is the second variation that you can find on the Leetcode. Basically both the links are present in the description. So the Leetcode says that you have some extra space at the end of the array and you have to use this extra space to fill out and sort this array. Now the brute force approach is to take another array. As both the arrays are sorted, what you can do is take a pointer here I, take a pointer here j, and compare them. 1 is less than 3, so we will put 1 here and increase I. 2 is less than 3, we will pick 2 here and I plus plus, and the array size should be equal to m plus n. M is the size of first array, n is the size of second array. Okay, so I is here. Now 4 less than 3, no, so we will put 3 here and do j plus plus. J is here. 5 is less than 4, no, 4 is less than 5, so we will put 4 here and I will come here. 5 is less than 6, yes, we will put 5 here and j will come here. 7 is less than 8, oh no, sorry, 6 is less than 7, yes, 6 is less than 7, we will put 6 here, I will come here. 7 is less than 8, yes, we will put 7 here, and j is out of point, so we will put all the values that is remaining here to here, so it is only 8. So we have that sorted array. Now you can just replace the values in this one by one. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 and send this array back, or in case of here, replace the value of first m elements by this and remaining elements by this, and you will get this array. This is the brute force approach. Basically this will take time complexity of m plus n, big of m plus n, and space complexity of also m plus n, because you are also taking the space of m plus n. So this is the brute force approach. Now let's look at the optimal approach without using any extra space. For both the question it is different. So first we are gonna take a look at this question because it is simpler. What we are gonna do here is we are gonna start from the end. We are also given the number of elements in both the arrays, so we will take a pointer that is last, we are take a pointer that is j, and we are going to take a pointer that is I. Whichever element is greater, just put it here. 8 is greater, so we are going to replace it here 8, and we are going to do j minus minus, so j comes here. Now 7 is less, so we will put 7 here, and last is also going here, last, and then last. Now last is here and I will come here. 6 is less than, so j will come here and it will become 6, and j is here, last is come here, and like this it will come 5 4 3 2 1. We are also gonna take a look at the code, but before doing the code, let's look at this problem. So for solving this problem, what we need to do here is we can either go with an insertion kind of approach, or we can use something like shell sort kind of approach, which is basically a gap approach. So the gap approach, what it basically says is, here m is 5 and n is 8, so basically it says take gap. Basically gap is, this is 3, sorry, 5 plus 8 8, 8 by 2 it is 4. So it says take two pointers at a gap of 4. Then I will here after 4 gaps 1, 2, 3, 4. J will be here. And check for swapping, meaning if I is smaller than j. Here the ith element is not smaller than j. So we will just increase. So I will come here and j will go out of bounds. When j goes out of bounds, you need to make j to the next array. Now what we will do here is I is at this place and j is at this place. 2 is less than 3? Yes. So it will come here and it will come here. 4 is less than 5? Yes. So I will come here and j will come here. 6 is less than 7? Yes. So once again we go here and this is out of bounds and this is all finished. So the first step of gap is complete. Now gap will be 4 by 2, that is 2. So now gap is 2. So I will be here and j will be here. 1 is less than 4? Yes. I will come here, j will come here. 2 is less than 6? Yes. 4 I will come here, j will. 4 is less than 8? Yes. I will come here and j will come here. 6 is less than 3? No. We will swap this. So it will become 3 and it will become 6. Now I is 8, j is 5. We need to swap this out. 8 will come here and 5 will come here. Now it is out of bounds. No, not out of point. I will come here and j will come here. 6 is less than 7? Yes. 6 is less than 7. So second part is complete. Now we go with the third round. So 2 upon 1 is 1. And this is the last gap. After this, we will not go ahead. This is the last gap. So I will come here and j will come here. 1 is less than 2? Yes. 2 is less than 4? Yes. 4 is less than 3? No. We need to swap. So 3 will come here and 4 will come here. 4 is less than 5? Yes. 5 is less than 6? Yes. 6 is less than 8? Yes. 8 is less than 7? No. 7 will come here and 8 will come here. So as you can see, the new array after all this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this becomes 6, 7, 8. This is the result that we needed. So the optimal approach that we took has a time complexity of big of n log n. Why log n? Because we are doing some logarithm of 2 base n kind of approach where we are doing half of n every time. So that's why log n, and this is the size of the array. So time complexity is n log n and space complexity is big of 1. Now let's look at both the codes. So this is the Leetcode question where we have given the extra space in the first array and we have to sort the arrays. So as I suggested, take a last element which is the size of nums1 minus 1 actually. After that you have to merge both the arrays. So if you remember in merge sort, what we were doing is we were checking both the elements and just placing the element at the last position. So here what we have to do here is the last element is m minus 1 minus minus n minus minus. This is the position of last elements, and while m is greater than equal to 0 and then n is also greater than equal to 0, what we are doing here is we are checking if nums of one element, that is m, is greater than nums of second element of n. If that is the case, then we are gonna put m at the last position, nums1 m. Also this is nums1. Else we are gonna put nums 2 of n. Then we are gonna put this here. Also we are gonna decrease m minus minus, and here we are gonna decrease n. Also with every single step, last is also decreasing. If this is completed, then we are gonna check while m is greater than equal to 0. If m is remaining, then we have to copy all the elements. Then we are gonna do nums last equal to nums1 m. Also this is also going to be done for n, and it should be nums2 of n. And after this is all complete, we are gonna return, oh sorry, we don't need to return. Let's run this code. Time limit exceeded. I think we have made a mistake, but here we have done one mistake. We have to do m minus minus and last minus minus. Also this should be done here, n minus minus and last minus minus. Okay, this should pass now. As you can see, this is passed. Now let's submit this code, and this is passed with flying colors. Now let's look at the second code. So here is the second question from GFG, merge without extra space. So here we need to first find the gap, and that will be m plus n divided by 2. This is the first gap, and we have to check the condition while gap is greater than equal to 1. We are going to perform these steps. And what are these steps? We are going to assign int I equal to 0 and int j to basically gap. Now we need to check in the first array. If j is in the first array, so we need to loop and swap this out if ith element is bigger than j. So for I equal to 0, or I is already defined, I plus gap is less than equal to less than n. Basically n is the length of first array, I plus plus. Then what we can do here is, or just do this, don't assign anything. So we will assign it here, I equal to 0, and I plus gap is less than n, that is jth value is less than n. Then what we need to do here is, we need to check if array of 1 value of I is greater than array of 1 value of I plus gap. If it is, then we need to swap this out. So we will be using custom logic, that is temp will hold the value of array 1i, and then we are just gonna place the value of gap 1 here, array of 1 I plus gap, and in the value of array of 1 I plus gap we are gonna place temporary variable. So this is swap. This will keep on going. We are gonna be comparing between two arrays now. So what we can do here is, we are gonna start j from 0, and we are gonna go till j is less than m, and end till I is also less than m. Because if we hit this, then we already know that we have encountered the place. And after this, I plus plus and j plus plus. And also there is one condition. If what happens, the value of gap is greater than n in the starting, so we can just simply say gap minus n. Otherwise we are gonna start from 0. That's all. So in this, if array of 1 n, oh sorry, n not I, if it is greater than array of 2 j, then we are gonna swap. So int temp equal to arr of 1, arr1 of I, and we are gonna place inside arr1 of I arr2 of I, sorry j. Now after this, we are gonna place the value of temporary variable that we have hold in this second array of j. Okay, this is done. Now the last condition, if after doing this all steps, if j is less than m, meaning there are elements remaining inside the array, what we need to do is, so here we already know that j is going to start from 0 means I have stopped in the first array and I have come to the second array. So I will be starting at the first position, that is 0. So we are going to take j equal to 0. And we already know we need to check j plus gap should be less than m. And we are going to do j plus plus. After doing this, we need to check for if array of 2 j is greater than array of 2 j plus gap. If it is, we need to change this. The same thing, swap. Now array of 2 j will come here, replace array of 2 j with gap, j plus gap, sorry, j plus gap. After we have done this, we need to put the value that we have hold in the temporary array inside the gap element. And when we put the value, and the function should be complete because we have checked in the first array, we have checked in both the arrays, and we have also checked in the last array. So this should be pretty complete. Now let's run this code. It's looking promising, but we have a compilation error. So here we are receiving it as long, so we should also be substituting it with long, not int. That's a mistake. I should have seen that. And also we have to divide gap by 2 for the next round. So after all this, we will do gap equal to gap by 2, and this should be okay now. Now let's evaluate this. Okay, and 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Okay, the output is okay. Now we should submit and see if this is really okay or not. 317 test cases. Okay, we have some wrong answer here. I think we have done some mistake here, because as you can see, the differences are there in between. So I'm thinking this gap formula is wrong. So basically we can do here, what we can do here is we can create a formula for gap. We should create a formula for gap. Gap can be next gap, and we will find next gap with giving it gap. So it will be a private static void function named next gap. Sorry, here also next gap, which will give us the next gap basically. So it is int gap if gap is less than 1 basically. So we should directly return 0, or wait, it should be less than equal to, because we are literally returning this gap divided by 2 plus gap percentile 2, because we also have to take the odd numbers here. If they are odd numbers, then it cannot do 4.5 or something like this, so we need to also take in the gap of 5. That's why we have to do this. Okay, let's see and submit this code and see what is the result. 300 and okay, there is incompatible type converted to int. Okay, we needed to return here. Sorry, we need to return int. My mistake. I thought it was some swap function or something like this. And we can see 317 test cases just passed and problem successfully solved. Okay guys, let's meet in the next video.